Hi there.
Office or the
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry.
You can be in the picture.
No.
Oh, no.
Boston, Haley,
Yeah.
they just kind of took charge.
Yeah. Oh,
They
good.
just
And hopefully that wall, we can plan to be that wall.
Take that wall out.
That would be the bar.
Outside? No. Yes.
Mr. Dean Meyer, Mayor Dean Meyer, can you join us?
I have a 20-minute speech you want to
No.
45.
Welcome, everybody. Can you hear me way back there in the back? Yeah? More, Dean? How's that? Better? Tonight, we are so happy to have you in the village of Ottawa with us, one of the many great communities here around Putnam County. And tonight, we are here to announce the start of the Main Street Corridor project. From an economic development perspective, we're excited about this. It preserves historic buildings. It supports some of our existing small businesses. It creates space for 3 new businesses immediately and space for more to come in the months ahead. We are retaining 26 jobs and adding 30 jobs with the businesses that will be down here. And this is interesting. I once heard a phrase that said, you don't have a community unless you have a place for people to commune, places for people to get together. And so through this planning process, residents said loud and clear that they crave vibrancy and gathering places. And so with the projects you're about to hear about, we will have more places than ever for people to gather. It's my privilege to announce first Mr. Terry Slayball. He is from JobsOhio. He is our Vice President of Sites from the State of Ohio Economic Development Corporation.
Now, Amy, I thought I was going last, but that's okay. Good afternoon, everybody. You know, I grew up in a small town, small little farm town, about 600 people. My mother worked at the bank in the center of town. My dad worked at a couple of different businesses in town. So it was really, it was nice to come to this town today and see a program that we started at JobsOhio in 2019, really see it, the program become how we kind of envisioned it. Which one, you know, I think at JobsOhio, our CEO, our president, JP Nassif, our board chairman, Bob Smith, you know, a lot of what we do is dealing with big companies. And of course, you've heard about Intel and some of the companies that we brought to Ohio. But you don't hear us really talk about the story we tell those companies, we tell their executives, and we tell their staff the experience they're going to have in Ohio and what's going to be unique about Ohio and why they're going to want to bring their workers here and have their workers and their families grow up in Ohio. And when we come to communities like Ottawa, we come here today and get to experience community like this and see what really makes it special and the fiber of this community that is really Ohio. This is what's unique about Ohio. This is really what we have to offer. So I want to thank Amy for the work you've done to put these projects together. The Putnam County CIC, Go Ottawa Committee, but really I want to thank the private business owners that are going to invest in these two buildings, because at JobsOhio we create programs. We created the Vibrant Community Program, but it's really about the partnerships that then we're going to depend on, the private development partnerships that we're going to depend on that make these projects come alive across Ohio. Last year we changed the guidelines so that we could participate in projects in communities with populations of less than 5,000. This is the first project that we're doing under those new guidelines. We're really excited to be able to come here today and see these projects. The other thing I wanted to point out and thank our partner RGP, Dean Monsky, Chase Elkenberry, who on Dean's staff helped us put this together and get us here today, where we're standing here today and we're going to be able to see these projects take off. So on behalf of JobsOhio and Governor Mike DeWine, Lieutenant Governor John Husted, congratulations, Ottawa, and thanks for having us here today. Thanks.
Thank you. Next we have some, can I talk about the grant? Can I say it? You didn't spill the beans all the way. So the Vibrant Communities Grant awarded for these projects in Ottawa is $1 million. We're thrilled about that today. So, thank you. We want to recognize some of our other leadership here before we move on to the program. We have Christy Tanner, Senior Managing Director at JobsOhio. Thank you, Christy. We have Allison Moritz, Business Retention and Expansion Manager at JobsOhio. Dean Monsky, President, Regional Growth Partnership, here. Chase Eikenberry, Vice President of Project Management, RGP, who I could not have done this without. Amazing mentor. Dean Meyer, Village of Ottawa Mayor. And Luann Cook, Ohio Lieutenant Governor's Office. Is Luann here? I think she's here somewhere. Oh, there she is. Hi, Lou. Thank you. All right. For our first project announcement today, I would like to introduce the owners of the Dumont building, here to your side here. And the owners are Jillian Steckschulte, Dan Steckschulte, Scott Birkemeyer, and Kevin Neese.
In April of 1900, Jacob Dumont appeared before the Village of Ottawa officials and stated that he would like to build a new hotel in Ottawa, but only if it had plumbing and sewer service, as there were no other hotels in the county with this feature. He's quoted as saying, "There are too many of that kind here now." Not quoted in the history articles is the response of the Ottawa Village officials. If Jacob Dumont's experience working in Ottawa is anything like mine, I imagine the folks at the Village of Ottawa saying, "Wow, Jake, that's a great idea. How can we help you?" When asked why our team has chosen to invest in downtown Ottawa, our response is that we know we will be supported here. We have seen the success of projects that we've been a part of, like the Rex and Well Grounded, and we recognize the momentum and energy that's building here, and we're thankful to be a part of it.
Beginning this summer, the Dumont will undergo a complete revitalization to preserve its legacy for future generations. The building facade will be repaired, restored, and all floors will receive a full remodel. The completed project will take place for a dining, working, gathering, collaborating area. We anticipate the project will take roughly 12 months and it'll be ready for next summer. Please pardon the dust over the next year. We will do our best to be good neighbors in downtown community.
The intention for that is to have spaces for small businesses in town. part of the driving factor for that is myself, Kevin, and Jillian. We're all current owners of the Technicon Design Group. Technicon started here in Ottawa back in 1985 by Tony Hovis and Gary Unger, and over the last 28 years has grown to 18 people. And our current space has served us well, but we're just outgrowing it. So our goal is to move our offices on the top floor here and be able to allow for future growth. There will also be space available for other businesses to do the same. So the overall intent is to give a space for future architects, engineers, and designers to continue the growth of our business and serve the region.
Many of us on the Dumont team have enjoyed getting involved with the Go Ottawa movement. During the comprehensive community planning process, it became increasingly clear that the Ottawa community is hungry for more hospitality and gathering spaces. So along with my brother, Jack Class, we'll be opening the Ottawa Brewing Company and we'll fill the first floor of the Dumont. The mission of the Ottawa Brewing Company is to provide a modern spot for families, friends, and community of Ottawa to gather by providing quality craft drinks and cuisine in a unique environment. We hope to carry on the legacy of this historic property. On behalf of myself, a partner of the Dumont team, Ottawa Brewing Company, I just want to say thank you to the Putnam County CIC, JobsOhio, RGP, the Deford team, Go Ottawa, and the community overall for your support thus far and your continued support as we move forward. Thanks.
Thank you, Dumont team. Next, we have the owners of the Deford building. And if you're not familiar with the Deford building, it's just a couple blocks east, and it's at the corner of Hickory and Main Street, next to the Putnam County Courthouse. The owners of the Deford are Megan Seats Clinton, Joe Schrader, Jeff Freeman, and Fred Schrader, and they'll make their announcement.
Thank you guys for coming out today to help us celebrate. My partners and I are so excited to share our portion of the Main Street Revitalization Project with you. Our project was born first, like so many things, of an idea. Several years ago, we began exploring ways we might make the Deford building more productive. The second story of the Deford building until recent years consisted mostly of a handful of empty apartments. I specifically remember walking into one of those apartments early into that thought experiment and being struck by the light and the view of the courthouse and Main Street and imagining what that might look like fully restored. Together, we began to imagine what a renovation of our second story might look like, and after a lot of thought and way too many conversations with Amy, landed on the idea of 7 loft-style overnight lodging rooms and shared space for guests to entertain. Those rooms will be a combination of family suites, executive suites, and standard suites, most of which will include kitchenettes. I don't know how to make that stop. We're hopeful that these suites will fill a void of local overnight accommodations that's existed in the decades since we've had a hotel on Main Street. And we're more than excited to breathe new life into the second story of our building, which has been largely underutilized in recent years. In addition to the upstairs space, we knew that the space we were currently occupying and that our unoccupied retail and office space on the corner of Hickory and Main needed to be updated. So as a second component of that project, our existing office space is slated to get a refresh and some reconfigured office space to accommodate our own growth. And the remaining unoccupied ground floor retail space will be updated to attract either new retail or hospitality tenants that will serve both our out-of-town guests and also our existing business corridor on Main Street.
I keep looking for something neat like the words brewing company in my notes, but I haven't found them. In 1889, Samuel F. Deford had a vision to build a building in downtown Ottawa. And there was a note in the Putnam County Sentinel in about February of that year that said the stones for this new building are about to be delivered and it's expected to be one of the grandest buildings in Ottawa. Since that time and over the course of many generations, that building has stood witness to many of the historic events that we have experienced here in Ottawa. Today's celebration, at least as it relates to the Deford building, almost never happened. In 1983, the building was purchased by prior owners with the intention of demolishing that building to add on to office space that exists with the Schrader building. But fortunately, the then owners of the building determined the historic value of the building outweighed the potential of the benefit of the demolition and new construction. The Dumont team and the Deford team believe investing in historic building preservation is very important. Our historic buildings are silent witnesses to the history of this community. They're cultural anchor points for our collective memory. As such, our historic buildings give us a shared sense of place, community, and connection to our past. Our historic buildings are well built, and they're meant to last. Our historic buildings are aesthetically important. They are unique. They have details, materials, and features that we don't find in our modern constructions. They represent values we care about, such as pride in our workmanship, attention to detail, and historic community anchor points. Historic building preservation is economically important. It is, in essence, recycling on a grand scale. We are grateful to JobsOhio and all of our partners with whom we've been collaborating for more than 2 years to help make the dreams of the Dumont team and the Deford team a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Deford team. Just a couple small things to round out the program. We do have quite a bit of public-private partners on this. We couldn't do this alone in silos. Any one of us, I think we would agree, couldn't have done it alone without the other partners. At one point, I think we counted 16 different partners, and so I just want to share a couple of those. We've already heard from Schrader, Blankenmeyer, and Clinton, Schrader and Company CPAs, and Technicon Design Group. We also want to thank Brick Street Studio, the Fort Jennings State Bank, Port Authority of Northwestern Ohio, the Toledo Port Authority, Go Ottawa, Metzger Breikeisen Company, Trisco Systems, the Putnam County CIC, and the Village of Ottawa, just to name a few of the partners that made this happen. Okay, we have one final announcement that is exciting, not part of the grant, but is exciting. And we have a new business announcement from Brianna and Andy Kuhlman.
Hi there. I'm going to make this brief because there's a few more people here than when I practiced it this morning in my mirror. This is my wife, Brianna. You probably know her better than me. She's a rock star over at the Meadows of Ottawa. But Bree and I have been coming to the Go Ottawa events from the beginning, and we found the revitalization of downtown Ottawa very exciting. And we wondered how we could make our own contribution. When we heard about the possibility of a canoe and kayak launch being put near the reservoir in Arrowhead Park, we saw our opportunity. So starting in July, the Putnam Paddle Company will offer a service that drops patrons at a launch site where their canoes and kayaks will await. When they reach their destination, their vehicles will already be there. The Putnam Paddle Company will eliminate the inconvenience of locating canoes and kayaks, transporting them to and from the river, and you'll no longer have to worry about finding a ride home or somehow getting back to your car. You park your vehicle at the final destination and we'll take care of the rest. Enjoy some time with your family and friends without hassle. And our goal is to provide a source of entertainment here in Putnam County. We look forward to Look forward to the opportunity to serve our community and continue making Ottawa a great place to live. Excuse me. Thank you.
Who's ready to take a canoe ride with Putnam Paddle Company? I am. All right, well, we thank everybody for coming. We are going to wrap up this part of the program. I do want to let everyone know we have from now until 7:30, we have open community tours of the Dumont building. We have open community tours of the Deford building. And back here, we are happy you can walk. It's very close. And we also have the Titan trolley for anybody that can't walk or has never been on the trolley and wants to take a ride. And they'll be talking about a little bit of the history of the Deford building on that ride. So end zone's open till 7:30. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Perfect. Just go.